Hello everyone, my name is Olesya and the aim of making this video today is to introduce you an action research I'm going to do with my students on how we can improve participation during the English lessons. Unfortunately, I've realized that even though my students in general are very talented, innovative, smart, creative, hardworking, and with good communication and collaboration skills, there are a lot of students who don't participate in class actively. They find it difficult to participate in debates and discussions in class. They don't like to respond to the teacher's questions. They don't share their ideas and opinions with teachers and other classmates. I find it essentially important to do an action research on this problem of participation, since without students' participation it is impossible to achieve the desired results for everyone in the class. And also because participation is one of the most essential elements in the learning process. Participation helps students learn more and quicker. And of course, students get more chance to have their mistakes corrected when they participate in the class. I propose my students to intervene and find the solution to this problem altogether, without using any bureaucratic approach. I want my students to help me to find possible ways of motivation for them and change their passive attitudes towards active participation. Therefore, I have formulated the question for this action research as how I can find ways to help my students to improve their level of participation during their English lessons. In order to accomplish successful and effective results in this action research, it is necessary to gather more information about the actual students. I also want to know some of their personal views on the problem and have some of their suggestions on how they can get more motivated during the English lessons. And finally, I would like to understand what problems they might experience during the participation process. To collect the necessary data for our action research, first of all, I would use questionnaire with formulated closed questions, which I will address to my students with aim of getting to know them better. You can see one of the examples on the slide. Also, in order to get their personal views on the problem, I would formulate some open questions. As for example, we can ask them if they can explain briefly the main reasons of their active or passive participation during the English lessons, or if they consider important to participate in class. To have students' personal views on the problem and also in order to get their possible suggestions on how we can get them more motivated during the English lessons, I've decided to interview some of them. But before having these interviews, I would like to observe them more deeply and take some notes, so that I can prepare the most interesting and the most appropriate questions for their future interviews. To do that, I would use the recorded version of my previous English lesson with these students. Data which will be found from their first questionnaire with the closed questions will be analyzed quantitatively through a percentage and the frequency counts, and the data from the class observation questionnaire with the open questions and from the interviews with some of the students will be analyzed with the help of the invited psychologist. Both questionnaires are going to be absolutely anonymous, but before having the recorded observation of the classroom and before starting analyzing the questions and the answers during the interviews with some of the students, all of the students will be asked to give the consent for using their personal data. If any of the students decide not to give their consent to appear on the recorded version of the classroom, they can just go to another classroom and finish their English homework with the other teacher of English, who will be asked to come especially for this session. To complete the actual research, we will need 2 weeks of time. I really hope that you will enjoy it, and thank you for your attention.